Every day, online predators make their way into homes uninvited and unnoticed. Help delete online predators. To learn what you can do to protect your kids' online life, visit cybertipline.com.
And we're back again. We thank you for staying tuned. We're talking to Reverend Smith. I think he has a couple of more announcements before we get into this conversation.
Right. Good, deep conversation that we're talking about. Yeah. Now, we know that just recently the Gospel Music Workshop of America's National Convention was held here in the city of New Orleans. And so we want the New Orleans chapter to know that they will have their first meeting, and it's going to be held on tomorrow, Monday, September 21st, 7 p.m. at the Beulah Baptist Church, 2921 4th Street. That's at the corner of Claiborne, South Claiborne and 4th Street. Reverend Willie Bradford Jr. is the host pastor. And again, that meeting is 7 o'clock. That's the first meeting for the Gospel Music Workshop of America's New Orleans chapter. And we'll be going to they'll be setting up for the convention that will be taking place in Birmingham, Alabama, and that's in 2016. So they came down here for New Orleans for this year, and they're going to Birmingham for next year. Also, Gospels Alive concert, that's going to be Sunday, September 27th, 3 p.m. at the St. John Institution Missionary Baptist Church, and that's at 2538 Jackson Avenue. It's in the educational building part. And they're going to have the Echo Airs of Memphis, Tennessee, the Mighty Travelers of Dallas, Texas, along with New Orleans' own God's Sons and the Southern Bells. Plus, they'll be honoring Sister Ruby Ray of the New Orleans Spiritualettes. And so if they need information, they call Brother Frank Stewart at FBS Productions, 504-235-1033. That's 235-1033 for the Gospels Alive concert. And so, I remember a friend of mine told me, he's a musician, I won't name his name, but he made me think about something. How I don't sing, but how so many times in culture we do things, and we're going to get back dealing with the culture and everything, and how the song may go from a quartet saying, I found the Lord, I found the Lord. You like quartets. Yeah. But the thing about it is, the brother told me, he says, you didn't find the Lord. You're the one who was lost. You're the one who was lost. But it's just the idea that
you putting it in proper biblical context. And I know what you're saying about a lot of our songs. They say one thing, but they really don't line up biblically, because you say what?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not going to mention some of those songs.
No. Sign me up. Yeah. But no, it's just the idea that and again with the culture aspect and everything. But dealing with culture again, we have to realize. I guess I would have to say it like this. We have different cultures. I use the illustration all the time about how America's a great melting pot, but here in New Orleans we're known for the gumbo. And the gumbo have different ingredients, different tastes and everything.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I think the whole goal is to get everybody to come together. Mm-hmm. And if you can come together, then you can work out some of those disparities, you can work out some of the myths, you can work out some of the things, dislikes and likes, and you can come to, but coming together is the main issue, because I think if we all believe in God, mm-hmm. Then we come together to show how we believe in God. Because, the old saying is, people say that they believe in God, but they don't show how they believe in God. And somebody said, well, this is what you should do if you believe in God. Well, we know the requirement of believing in God is worship, mm-hmm. is faith. Mm-hmm. But then how do you activate those principles of faith? And so that's where we're having the problem in cultural connectivity, mm-hmm. where we're connecting things. That I can identify with this. I think we all identify with relationships of children.
Right.
We think all children should be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some other things I think we can have common ground with and say that, yeah, I think we all agree with this. And so that's what you were saying about the different culture and everything like that. The different exchange of our songs, the different exchange in our community foods. You may not eat this food, but when you taste it, you say, oh, okay, mm-hmm. ain't nothing wrong with that food.
Yeah.
They always told me that was poor people food.
Yeah.
For example,
No,
you might
I
say
understand,
like that.
yeah. And so that's just exactly what it is as far as culture exchange. I like that. Now, I saw this cartoon, and they had the caption, and I'm gonna just picture. You had some pictures say your spiritual mind, your imagination. Okay, this guy, somebody knocks at his door, and it's just like I guess you could say somebody's witnessing, and they hand him a pamphlet, and the guy says, "But it's blank," and the guy who handed him the pamphlet says, "I'm an atheist." You get it? He hands him a blank pamphlet, like he's a witness, and the guy says, "But this is blank." And the guy says,
That's part of my belief.
Yeah, I'm an atheist,
Yeah.
you know. And so, and we have to deal with that because there are people who won't believe, you know.
Right.
And with all due respect and everything, don't knock what I believe, you know, even though you.
Well, what you know, I guess what the cartoon is saying, and basically what you're saying as well, is that respect that person's non-belief. If you don't believe, then I still respect you, but don't get upset because I believe.
Right, exactly,
Yeah, don't get
exactly. And I always said, or somebody told me, and I guess it always sticks to say, you know, I don't want to take that chance. But being an atheist, you know, it's just like, and all of a sudden you die, and it's like, oh my goodness, this is real. You know, hell is real, and heaven is real, and I missed out just because, you know. So I'd rather be a believer and believe, and then when it all happens, hey, you know, but as opposed to not believe.
Well, I think it deals more than just that, a question of what if. I think it deals with anything that you believe and you stand on, or you set on, or you act on. The belief in what we call a wholesome life is something that we stand on. We think that people are to be morally good, because why wouldn't you want to be morally good and to be productive? There's only one race. It's known as the human race.
Human race, yes.
And so our job is hard enough being human. I think there's a segment that comes on television network that talks about the zoo. And all of a sudden, and what imagination, all of a sudden all the animals have turned against humans, and their job is to make humans extinct. I haven't been watching it, but I've been watching the commercials about it and stuff like that. And they, you know, the birds are against you, the insects are against you. You know, that really is difficult, because I think there are more insects, there are more animals. And that's another question, that we become stewards of the animals that are out here. We see that in Africa there are people that are poaching, they're killing animals, they're killing the elephants for their tusks. And one of the guys, he was tracking this, and he made an artificial tusk
For an elephant?
Yeah,
like a prosthesis.
Well, it was to utilize the showing. It had a monitoring device in it that it can be tracked. In other words, the whole point of it is the poachers or the people that are smuggling animal ivory. They say they couldn't detect it, and so when they would take it, they were tracking who they were and where they were. And so he happened to stop at custom, and when they stopped at custom, and he said that the way custom is today, when you go inside of a boot or put your stuff inside a boot, there's a camera that can detect.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're carrying explosives or anything else. And so he said the only problem that he had was that most people, they seen the device in there, and they said, let's hold him over because that's a bomb inside of that. And it wasn't a bomb. He wasn't trying to hide it. He said, if anything, they should have stopped him for. He said, you're smuggling ivory, the ivory tucks. Yeah.
Interesting point. Yeah. So that basically, like I was talking about, the fact of the concept. Now, of course, I put it like this. What kind of influence? Well, I'll put it like this. I'm gonna change it around. I asked this question the other day on a site. I said, do you believe in faith, F-A-T-E, or faith, F-A-I-T-H? And most people can say they believe in faith. It's just like, the woman I married, I believe in faith, and it's been faith since I've ever had her, like that. Or do you believe in faith, F-I-T-H, the fact that, I believe God would bless me with a woman like this and all like that. And so they're so close, but there's yet still and all so far apart. A lot of people believe in faith, it was supposed to be.
It just happened.
It just happened.
Like you say, it was my fate that I broke my toe.
Yeah.
Not the faith of God that allowed that to happen, but it was my fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying in that contrast.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's what you're dealing with some people. They'll rather believe in faith and then just say, oh, well, for it to be. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and I got to share this. Not so much my testimony, but it's just a part of me. It's just like with me. And I tell people I got the hookup, whatever like that, with me with an accident that happened back in 1975. Ooh, 40 years. It's been 40 years since September. I don't believe it was faith, F-A-I-T-E. It was faith that happened, but I believe it was faith, F-A-I-T-H, because if it wasn't for the incident, I call it an incident as well as an accident. If it wasn't for the incident, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
You think that would have led you a different direction if that wouldn't have happened? Knowing yourself now and knowing yourself then?
Okay, confession time again. Well, knowing the fact that, when I was in high school, got out of high school, I went to school for radio broadcasting. I was in the process of going to school for radio broadcasting, and all I could say is, Lord only knows what kind of DJ and what kind of radio broadcast I would have been if I wasn't on the Lord's side. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the broadcasting that's out there, but I may not have been D.K. Smith, the PM pastor.
As faithful as you are.
Yeah, I like that.
I got to stop you, man, because we got to go.
Yeah.
But I like that idea about, and I think we need to talk about it on our next show, dealing with that relationship, fate or fate. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will probably go with the other F-A-T-E instead of F-A-I-T-H.
Yeah.
Again, we thank God for our co-host. We thank God for Reverend Darrell Smith. Thank God for the work that he's doing in the community. We applaud him as well as encourage him to keep on doing the work that he's doing. Again, we just say to you, go to a church of your choice and worship the Lord. We invite you to come on out to True Love Missionary Baptist Church, 2710 Phillips Street. Worship time is at 8 a.m. in the morning. This Sunday morning, we'll be having our Lord's Supper service, so you're welcome to come and partake with us in the breaking of bread and just come and be inspired by the Word of God. But thank God for the opportunity of being part of His creation and part of His existence. Again, we encourage you, keep on emailing us, keep on writing us. We're on Vimeo as well as YouTube, and we have a global effect. And Reverend D.K. Smith, he puts all of the information on YouTube, and we thank God for New Orleans Access TV. They put all the information on Vimeo TV. Again, till next time, we just ask God's choices, blessing upon you. God bless you and God keep you. That's our prayer.